African Americans have a unique history in this country. There's a legacy of brutal enslavement, economic exploitation, state-sanctioned violence, and deliberate attempts to divide an already fractured people. Bobby Seale said, "The best way to fight racism and oppression is with solidarity." Dr. Ron Christopher Osborne Williams and filmmaker Tylon U. Savior Washington has created a unique online experience where African Americans are not only welcomed, but preferred. A space where the only thing that matters is your blackness. Welcome to the Colored Only Café. With Dashawn Farad giving us our world news, Bro Pete, the Empress Lydia Percy, Sonny B. Sutherland Sr., and you, the black community. Welcome to the Colored Only Café, where the conversation is always hot, black, and strong.
Welcome, 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 one and all. So good to see you all here in the VIP room. As two V's, the virtual, very impressive, intelligent, intriguing, and just intelligent people here in the room. Let me welcome everyone who's here. We have a very, very good show lined up for you guys today. Let me say hello to Zoe. I see, hi Zoe, good to see you here. Jacqueline, good to see you as well. Thanks for supporting. Also, Sexy Kitty Cat is in the house. I want to say hello to the Black Gift. I like that. Lydia Percy is here. Oh, folks, don't forget to check out Lydia's program tomorrow. You know, she sets off a ladies' night. Every Thursday is a ladies' night on the GoPro Radio Network, and it gets started at 10 o'clock, and it starts with Lydia's Lyrical Lounge. Be there. It's poetry. It's music. It's information. It's just a really fantastic program. Be there. Also, we have Sonny B. Sutherland Sr. in the house. Welcome, Sonny. This is going to be a really good show for you to really chime in on. Super Black Man is in the house. Thank you for patrolling the skies. And JT the Wolf, I see, is here. We got the station manager. We have the lovely Amanda Banner in the house. We have Jamel Sutherland here. And last but definitely not least, my partner in this, I got to tell you, by the way, you know, it's his birthday, so let's wish him a very, very happy GoPro Radio Colored Only birthday. How does it feel to be 35 again?
No, I don't fake that kind of stuff, brother.
You don't?
I am born in 1973. That makes me 53 years old, my brother.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, I don't have this fake fantasy about the life I lived. My life was real. It continues to be real, and I treasure every moment of it. So
beautiful.
I'm not looking for the fountain of youth. I'm hoping to get to a rightful age, and when I pass on, I can easily say, "Hey, that dash will tell you everything you need to know."
Well, you know what? Black don't crack, because for 53, man, you look like 53 is the new 43 out here.
Man, that ain't what my kid. My kids say I look 63.
Oh yeah, they just messing with you.
But as far as they know, they kids. All they know is gray hair.
They love messing with you, Ron. Did you do anything special, anything in particular, or just you brought it in quietly?
Actually, I seen this play. It was about Marcus. No, what's her name? Martha Washington.
Martha Washington.
Excellent play about
you talking about like they're talking about Married to George Washington?
Oh, definitely, brother. Very excellent. Listen, it's probably one of the best plays I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah,
and very keen for the time that we're in as Black people. It was about the last days of her life. And she was very sick, and she was surrounded by all her slaves. And you know that whole story about George Washington. You know, we always talk about George Washington. People always say, "Oh, George Washington owned slaves. How could he be?" And you know that scapegoat has always been that George Washington didn't own the slaves. He married Martha, and her family owned the slaves. So it wasn't him, the slave owner. And that in his death, you know, the in her death, or what would happen is he wrote in this whole what do you write when you get ready to die? Plan for when he dies that all the slaves would be free, would be freed. And I understand he had thousands of slaves at their compound in Virginia. And the play was really a psycho dynamic, conscious black experience about the idea of how um, even in the end it wasn't her fault that George Washington had left her, but in the end she still wasn't interested in freeing those slaves. And so you think about the mother of allegedly America, um, could not see having life without having slaves to take care of the things she. And I mean, again, it's poignant if you're able to look it up, and just see and read some of the her reviews on it. I mean, really excellent. And then like always, you go and get all this food, and by getting food, you end up getting food poison that I had.
Oh no!
Food
Now,
poison I had for the last 2 days. So I spent the whole birthday sitting at the porcelain
throne.
god. So that that was
Oh,
there you go, brother. So be careful, folks. Be careful what you eat.
out there, especially now, right? With
Yeah,
all
try
the
to maybe start making your own food, your own
yes,
health
right, because people are
changes.
cutting corners now, because of
Right, right.
gas
Are they just
prices.
right? They're just doing whatever. They're doing whatever they need to do to get the money.
Yeah,
Money
yeah,
is tight, man. Jobs is tight. All these
yeah,
things is
super tight now.
So, Dr. Ron,
yes. How can I help you, sir?
Happy, happy birthday, baby.
just want to send that out to you. Enjoy the rest of it.
Yeah, my brother. You wasn't here, but I just want to send definitely. I know you wasn't here. I know you was here in spirit, but I want to definitely send condolences, brother, for the passing of your son. I mean, I had to tell people. I tell people last week we have as many disagreements, we can see differently, but we a family here at the GoPro Radio, and no matter what happens, we want to support our brothers and sisters, and during their times of ups and their times of lows, and that's an important thing we have to begin to do in the Black community. So, brother, sincere, no nothing but love for you and your family at this time, my brother.
Okay, when you could bring over some of that food.
Oh, you don't
Sonny,
want
did
to be
you
on the
not hear
port.
me say that the food gave me food poisoning? But you know what? It was a place that served chicken, and I know you love that chicken.
Oh, yes. You know I'm a chicken man.
Oh man, yeah. Once again, Sonny, yeah, serious condolences, folks. But if you want to support Sonny and his uh, his family, we have a special GoFundMe link on the GoPro Radio Network page. Please go to that and consider making a donation to support him and his family during this time. It's very important that we move from words to action and deeds, and I'm quite sure the family would definitely appreciate whatever you're able to do at this moment. Folks, we have a very important show. Like I said, Sonny's going to love this. I think everybody's going to love this show. And she's always just a terrific guest whenever she comes on our program.
Can I interrupt you for a second?
You sure can. Go ahead, Sonny.
Oh, thank you very much. I just want to send condolences out to you and your family on your loss.
Yes, yes, we lost our cousin, and I just got word. Do you remember Mr. Colbert? We was out there. I know Liddy remember Mr. Colbert. He was out there on our barbecue. Every year we have this really terrific barbecue for folks who don't know, folks who may be listening in to us internationally. We have an annual barbecue, and Lydia and her sister, family, just terrific hosts. They cooked incredible amounts of food, and Mr. Colbert was there, and I just got a call that he lost his mother. So yeah, and then tomorrow is Lakota's mom's funeral. So I've been really busy with quite a bit, like a cluster. Jimmy and
Yeah, it seemed like our people are dying all over the place.
Yeah, I don't know. It may be some conspiracy. Who knows? But I just want to pivot if I could, Sonny. But thank you for that, Sonny. Tonight I just want to really welcome a woman whose very presence, I believe, is a bridge between ancestral wisdom and I would say modern healing. She's a visionary. She is a truth teller. She's a sacred space holder in every sense of the word. I.O. Handy Kendi is not just a practitioner of wellness, as you will hear, in terms of like breathing techniques and all that, but she is a curator of liberation, and she's done things like womb wellness, holistic health advocate, and she's the founder of the Sacred Womb Wellness Village. By the way, she has dedicated her life to restoring balance. That's what that's about: dignity, empower to the bodies and spirits of women and men and families, especially within our community. Her work reaches beyond the physical. It touches the emotional, the spiritual, and the generational, reminding us that healing is not just a personal thing. It's not an individual thing. That healing is revolutionary. I'm always talking about the revolution, and everybody thinks about guns and rooftops and things like that. But hearts and minds must be first. And with a voice that she has, which is rooted in so much compassion and a mission grounded in purpose, our Mama Ayo, she challenges us to rethink. I know she challenges me a lot on this, and I'm hoping we're going to have some really good back and forth today on how we care for ourselves and each other. She always calls us back home to our bodies, to our truth, and to the sacred knowledge that has always been ours. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we're gathered here at the Colored Only Café, a space where culture, conversation, and consciousness meet, and we're prepared to be inspired and affirmed and awakened. Please help me and join me in welcoming the radiant and the powerful Io Handy Candy. Welcome into the room.
Wow, that's such a beautiful introduction, Brother Talon. Thank you so very, very much. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I
And
can.
I'm
I can see
trying to,
you.
yeah, I'm trying to adjust this little new image that was put on my background the
I
other
like it.
day
I like it.
for, well, it was for a podcast, and that's
Mm-hmm.
not my podcast, but
Okay, gotcha.
I'm going to be on a Stacy Speaks podcast
Mm-hmm.
talking about a very important subject. So I want to give thanks and praise and praise and thanks before I begin, because that's so important to always do
Mm-hmm.
that. Give
Mm-hmm.
thanks and praise. And for those people who have lost a loved one, I always encourage them from an African spiritual understanding that we're all going to leave here. So the brother's correct in saying, yeah, it looks like everybody's dying. Well, to be truthful, every single moment of our lives, if we are not breathing deeply, fully, and consciously, there
Mm-hmm.
is a part of us that is leaving us. We're not getting the cellular energy
Mm-hmm.
on a daily basis. And so we came here to live, but we also came here to live, and eventually we will go home. And what we do in between coming here, living our purpose, and leaving here, going to, I like to hope and affirm, a divine place better than this earthly plane, that the critical importance is how you live.
Mm-hmm.
And that if we continue to honor the ancestral energy that we leave, that we never really leave. We
Mm-hmm.
transform, we shift to a new energy. And
Can you
so
go into
that's
that
why,
just a little? Can you go just into that aspect a little bit more?
yes,
Okay.
and so that's why we pour libations. We
Mm-hmm.
pour libations in honor of ancestors, and ancestors are who we become when we transform from this physical body into the etheric body, the spiritual body, the energies of what we created here remaining within who we uh, affect while we were here, the legacies of what we leave behind, the work that we do, hopefully, that will continue to be the legacy for years and years and years beyond us. So as we speak of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Betty Shabazz and all of these brilliant, amazing people who did this work, they are in ancestral realm. And as long as we continue to speak their name and honor them, Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, all of these amazing people who enable us to be here today, then that means that their spirit never leaves. Their physical body leaves, but their spirit never leaves. And so it's important to, um, of course, we miss their physical body. We feel their loss. But if we continue to speak of their memory and the work that they did, that we never really lose anybody because energy never dies. Energy is always with us.
Yes, yes. And let me pour a little libation for some of
Yes,
the folks who don't know, because like I said, I lost 5 friends. I want to definitely virtually speak, their name and pour libations
speak their
for
names. Yes.
Kim Ebony Jones.
Ashe,
I want to say also to, oh, hold on one second. Let me bring in Brother Pete. To Fred Foster.
Ashe. Oh, I
Also,
knew Fred Foster.
yeah, he passed away. Good
I
friend.
didn't know
And
that.
then Nathaniel Euclid
Ashe,
Sutherland,
Ashe,
Michael A. Thomas, better known as Jimmy,
Ashe,
and the mother of Mr. Colbert, Hattie Colbert,
Ashe,
and
Ashe.
also the mother of Lakota Leon. Her name was
Mm,
Lazelia M. Edmond.
Ashe, Ashe.
Her service
We
is tomorrow.
we
Yes,
lift them up.
yes,
We
we do.
lift them up. Yes, sir. And thank you for doing that because that's the connection that enables us to have hope and faith that these wonderful people are still very much a part of who we are. And
Mm-hmm.
it makes the difference with the European concept of death as if it's finite. That's it. But in the African tradition, this energy of those who've crossed over, that's the concept they've crossed over from one realm into this next realm of spirit, that it gives us the concept of continuity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's our blessing that we know this
Mm-hmm.
and we practice this aspect of the continuity of those who come before us. So,
Mm. Well,
yes,
definitely
yes.
appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
But
Thank you.
yeah, there's a lot of things going on, and that you are a
Yes.
part of, and I always get super excited because I speak to a lot of people who are talkers. I'm a talker, right?
Mm,
But I also
okay.
produce. I produce shows. I produce film. I produce music. I like to take it out of the realm of talking, and you are like that. And this is one thing that I incredibly admire about you, is that you are always producing events and producing bringing folks together. Let's talk a little bit about a couple of upcoming events. I know I'm downloading now. I'm having an issue downloading the file, but I'm going to get them up on the screen, and I'm also going to share it, by the way, on Facebook. And by the way, the events that Mama Io is going to share with me, I'm going to share it also on my social media. And can we all do that too as well? Can we take a moment? I know all of us have networks and organizations. If we would be so kind enough to spread the word about what's going on. There's an event happening in Washington, right?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it is, as well as worldwide. And Tylon, I'm having the same technical, perhaps, challenges today.
Oh,
So, I'm going to attempt to put this in the chat and maybe people can look it up. I put one of the events. April is a very profound month for people of African descent. And I am blessed as the founder of the African American Holiday Association. I am the founder of a business, which is a wellness business that also connects culture with health, called Positive Energy Works. And I'm blessed to be the founder of a holiday myself called Black Love Day. It's
Right.
February the 13th. But through the African American Holiday Association, I get to recreate the awareness of how the importance of the holidays and celebrations and rituals that we do in the African American community not only enables us to have that transition of being able to celebrate our ancestors, right?
Mhm.
But who also the creation of the rituals that come with having a celebration or recognition day,
Mhm.
also knowing that with every celebration and every ritual
Mhm.
that we have the opportunity to recreate ourselves, to honor ourselves, to embrace ourselves, to have self-love for all that we do,
I
to
love
hang out and party and eat good
that.
food, right? Okay.
I love
And
that
whatever,
idea of recreating. I
yes,
love the way you phrased it, because a lot of times, you're just so busy with life and living, you don't think about
yes,
these
yeah,
opportunities in these moments to kind of recreate. Especially a lot of people have a tendency, and I know I was like this. I wear no crown. I used to like to live in the past, something happened. But also, I like the idea of recreating, reimagining, remixing.
that's right. That's
Your
right.
life. So that's beautiful.
Recreating. That's what
Mhm.
celebration should be about, right?
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah. And so holidays are really holy days. They're very important for us in passing on traditions.
Hmm.
They're very important for a people, especially to feel really good about accomplishments and feel good about occasions like birthdays and
Hmm.
birthings, as well as going home ceremonies. In
Hmm.
the African American Holiday Association, we consider all of these special events,
Hmm.
special recognitions of the very gatherings that we do in honor of recreating a people's legacies and beautiful, beautiful accomplishments,
Hmm.
as well as just lifting us up,
Hmm.
feeling good for
Hmm.
a day, for a week, a month, however long our celebrations are.
They
And
do that
so,
in the Gabon. You know that. I mean, I went to Gabon. I hung out with the Bwiti tribe, and they have
ah,
this wonderful plan. It's called Ibogaine. People should know about it, but it's a hidden thing. That people who are heavily addicted to drugs, they go out there for the ritual, and they go out there for this
ah,
experience. And Gabon
uh-huh,
has never had a war. You could do the research on this. It's never,
okay,
the tribal thing. Everybody talk about how tribal. They don't play that in Gabon, but what you're saying
yeah,
resonates with the fact that um, even the way punishment is perceived, according
yes,
to the Bwiti tribe, they remind you of your accomplishments. That's your
uh-huh,
Your punishment is like, how could you? It's almost like, how could you behave this way when you were the one who, showed the village how to do X, Y, and Z. You came from this, and they remind people. And I think we forget what we actually achieve and what we accomplish
that's true.
sometimes, and we it weighs heavy on us. I think some of the things, the missteps, let's put it that way.
Yes, yes. And you just said the critical connection of the bonding
Hmm.
for holidays, holy days.
Hmm.
It does remind us. It does remind us, and it lifts up and celebrates people's actual accomplishments, whole communities' accomplishments.
Hmm.
And it takes it out of what we say, the mundane of, oh, yeah, this happened and let's move on.
Hmm.
But you really are not moving on when you continue to celebrate and lift up and say to the world, say to a community, say to a family that things happen in this lifetime that we should be celebrating. And so, a birthday party is not just a birthday party. A birthday party is really a much deeper experience of bonding and connecting and elevating families and communities,
Right.
because we're saying to that person, and that community is gathering in, and Dr. Kringle speaks about the ingathering of our people, how essential it is for us that when we ingather, that we have these rituals of the birthday song, the cakes, the gifts, and the reminders of, oh, you're a special person in our life, and you did this and you did that, and oh, look what you accomplished and brought into our community. So every single celebration should be an important element of our connecting and bonding. Our ingathering is very important. And when Europeans saw some of the celebrations that we were doing when they first came into our communities, they considered them holy days. And we were saying to them, these are holy days, days of the divine, when we would have our rituals from ancient days that then passed down into modern times as these maybe individuals or community celebrations. And we started then helping them to understand these holy days, these days of the divine that we put outside of the everyday occurrences and that we're lifting up and celebrating. We named them holy days then, and the Europeans later began to speak of these holy days as holidays. And so holy days became holidays that we still today in modern times celebrate. So in April, the African American Holiday Association celebrates two very significant holidays. We just coming from Black Marriage Day in March. February we had Black Love Day, Black Love Movement Month. Now we're going into April, and our two celebrations we'd like people to encourage to look at as holy days and recognition days is World Breathing Day, which is April the 11th. And then DC Emancipation Day, which is April the 16th.
Wow.
Now, yeah. So let
Well,
me,
hold that thought. I got to take a quick
okay.
break. We're going to
All
come back
right.
with those two. And folks, we are here. You don't want to miss it. Matter of fact, use this opportunity while we're on commercial break to invite some friends, some family to this, because we're going to have a lot of really great information that
Yes.
you're going to want to listen to. We'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome to the Colored Only Café, where the conversation is always hot, black, and strong.
Okay, folks. Welcome back. Welcome, Black. We have an incredible program for you today. I want to ask some of the folks. I'm looking at what we're doing and what's going on social media. We have almost close to 100 likes. If you guys, I appreciate the likes. Trust me, I love to see the thumbs up and the heart. But if you could share, that would be great. If you could share the content right now, that would be so awesome. I would really appreciate that as well as the likes, because sharing is caring, as we know, and we want to spread the word. And I think the better that we do in terms of numbers, the fewer commercials we run, because I hate it when we get this really great momentum going and all of a sudden we have to take a quick break. I would love to have this entire program sponsored. So by the way, folks, if you know people, organizations that want to be interested in sponsoring the Colored Only Cafe, that would be great. So we could just not have these commercials playing all the time, and we can just keep the groove going, right? What was a song called "Don't Disturb This Groove"? All right. Anyway, I digress. All right. So, but we're here with our Mama Ayo, and she is talking about some very important upcoming events that I know that you're gonna all want to be a part of. I'm going to try to make it out to Washington because I got to get out of New York City. It's just a lot of stuff going on. So who knows? I mean, make one or who knows both of the things. Just to try to connect and just get out of New York City. Yeah, tell us first about the breathing, because the breathing event happens
Yeah.
first. Am I correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And Tylon, that's what I'm so grateful that we have the internet nowadays, because the World Breathing Day is an international opportunity that you won't have to necessarily come to Washington, D.C. to experience. We're going to be working with the organization I've been a part of for 5 years, called the International Breathwork Foundation. I've been a member of the World Breathing Day Committee for 5 years. It's a working group.
I've never heard of
And
that organization or group. That
yeah,
this is all new to me. I mean,
yeah,
breathing.
that's why it's important that we do this. I had to come to them when I joined the organization to say that as a breathologist, that this is an opportunity that we gather together, and IBF World offers breath workers a chance to connect and learn more about breath. And we travel somewhere every year for an international conference where all week long we just share breathing techniques. And I've been blessed in being a part of that organization. I've gone to South Africa, Kenya,
Wow.
Austria, France. This year we'll be going to Greece. And we have this whole week-long conference, right? And
Well, tell
yeah,
tell 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 the little folks out there who don't know, like myself, what breathology is and
okay,
why is it important? Because I know you
okay.
know, but just for folks who are like, wow, this is really
Yes, this is really important. Why would
Mhm.
people come together for a whole week and breathe, right?
Right.
So I'm glad you asked that because that's kind of where I was going to go with this discussion. The importance of why people would do that is that um, the breath is the essential of life. Without breath, there is no life. And with more effective breathing, there is more life. And everybody breathes, of course.
Mhm.
Yet, when I discovered the impact of effective breathing at about age 19 and
Mm.
continue to work with breath now over 50 plus years, we developed a system that would enable people to have the opportunity to learn more effective breathing concepts because 9 out of 10 people, yes, we all breathe, but 9 out of 10 people do not breathe effectively.
That's the
And
key word, effectively
that's the key
breathing. Right.
word.
Okay.
And the ineffectiveness of breathing, particularly for people of color, is the reason why we live sicker and die sooner than our counterparts. Poor breathing has an impact on all people. But for our people, since this is the Colored Only Cafe, I thought I would take the opportunity to share some of the challenges that ineffective breathing has impacted on Black people, melanated people,
Hmm.
also poor people.
Hmm.
When we don't breathe effectively, we have a tendency to do what's called holding our breath, which means that the not consistently breathing,
Hmm.
as well as not breathing deep in the body. Instead, it's called scientifically shallow breathing, where we breathe high up in our upper chest.
Can we do an exercise? Can we actually?
Oh yeah,
I would like to do one
I
to
would
see.
like to show it. Yes,
Mhm.
as opposed to breathing deep into what we call the diaphragmatic area, the muscle that is the biggest muscle in our body. To breathe deeply, fully, and consciously for the 20,000 times a day that we breathe daily, 15 to 18 times a minute. By not breathing effectively, we don't bring the oxygen that better breathing brings into every single cell. And so that limited oxygen shortens our life. It makes
Hmm.
movement and circulation ineffective.
Mm.
It enables us to not speak as clearly, sing
Or
deeply.
brain fog? Like I get that
Brain
crazy.
fog, that's
Like,
right.
what was I
Brain
saying?
fog, yes. Brain fog, very much. Lack of concentration,
Hmm.
lack of energy.
Mm.
All of those are impacts. And then we go deeper into when you consistently have the limited life force of oxygen, then we go into disease like high blood pressure and diabetes and heart diseases that are very much a big part of our community.
Yeah.
Strokes, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and on and on. The foundation for cancer is
Mm.
limited breathing, on and on. And so, yes, let's show. Let me see how much time we have. We have at least about 4 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. We have 15 minutes to the next break, so we.
Okay, then. So we're going to show a breath technique. What
All right,
is
y'all.
the difference? And if you're
Yeah, I'm
driving,
gonna.
I don't suggest you do this,
Yeah, if
okay?
you're driving, you might want to pull over.
Pull over, yes, pull over because deeper breathing also
Mm-hmm.
relaxes us
Mm.
immediately. It affects the nervous system. It slows us down, but we can breathe and we can hype up. So that's the wonderful thing about breathing techniques. The first thing we bring into our life is a deep breath. The last thing we leave with our last breath, and anything in between. Breath wakes us up in the morning and can help us relax at night to help us sleep better, and on and on. And so let's do a simple demonstration. Sit back in your chair, put both feet on the floor on the ground. You can
Okay.
take one hand and put it over your chest right at the heart level. uh, Talon, you and I wear glasses, and those of us who are glass wearers, take your glasses off, okay? So you can totally relax your eyes. I'm going to leave mine on so in case I need to see you, because I'm going to watch you breathe, right?
Okay.
So one hand on chest,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
Right hand I like to use, put it right in the middle of your chest. Take the thumb of the opposite hand and connect right at your belly button. And then take the forefingers and rest them flat. Don't ball up your fists, but rest them flat just below your belly button, like you're connecting and loving and hugging your belly. And I want you to sit back in your chair and I want you to close your eyes and I want you to focus attention on your breathing. I want you to allow the breath in to the body. I want you to become aware of the breath. The thing that we think so little of is the most essential thing, that we should become aware of every single breath. And so breathe in and breathe into the nose. And if we can, open the mouth and just release and go, just like a gentle sigh. Breathe in through the nose and feel the hand on the belly move and open the mouth and just go, ah. And breathe into the nose. Feel the belly rise, hopefully, and open the mouth and just go, ah. Release gently. As we breathe in through the nose, feel the sensation of breath flowing through our bodies. Notice and then release. Let the breath come in. Let the breath go out. Slow it down so you can feel it. If you're breathing fast, if your shoulders are lifting up with each breath, relax your shoulders. If your chest is lifting up with the hand on the chest, you can feel it and tell your chest to be still. And instead, let your belly feel the breath coming into the body. Now, as we breathe in, the belly comes out. As we breathe out, let the hand guide the belly and push it gently in. Inhale in, let your belly come out. Breathe out, let your belly go in. Now we're directing the breath. We're making it more efficient. Again, if the breath is coming into the upper chest, relax the chest, relax the shoulders, let them drop. Breathe gently. Inhale in, the belly comes out. Exhale out, the belly goes in. Now we're going to change this essential daily breath, a deep breath, into a de-stress breath, which will help you see the feeling more of breath going in and out. Inhale in, hold the breath right in the belly. 1, 2, 3. Open your mouth and just go, ah. Make that ah breath even longer. Push the belly back into the spine. Inhale in through the nose, the belly comes out. Hold it there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open the mouth and just go, ah. You can hear the ah sound. Make it audible. And inhale in. Let the belly come out. Hold it there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Open the mouth and go, ah. Totally release. Totally relax. And now, once again, inhale in. Let the belly comes way out. Hold it, hold it, hold it. With each effective breath, more oxygen is gathering. Feel it into the whole beingness of yourself and open the mouth and go, ah, totally release. Good. Now just sit there another minute. Put a smile on your face. That's right. You should be feeling good. A little
Oh my
lightheaded.
goodness,
Yeah.
I'm ready to go to bed.
I'm telling you, right. So,
Hey,
see
what's
how
this? I have an erection. What's going on here?
right.
That's fucking
Oh.
stupid. This is good. Oh my goodness, that really worked. Oh, that is so relaxing. That
Yes,
is
yeah.
so really great. Oh
Right.
man, this is.
And what?
Thank you.
How many minutes was that? That was
I
just
don't know. I wasn't
about
counting. I was like lost in the breathing.
right. Well,
This
that's
is great.
good. But I was checking it out. That was a little less than 4 minutes. Okay. Right. Right. And then there's
Wow.
this stimulating breath. We're going to shift now. Open the
Mm,
mouth.
okay.
Open the mouth, hand on
Do I
chest,
place the
hand on
okay?
belly. Yeah. And open the mouth. And this time I want you to open your eyes because you may get a little lightheaded. And we're going to do a stimulating breath to wake you up. Open the mouth and just go, like you're panting. And you can lift your hands up. Open the mouth and go, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, and release and go. Ah.
Oh, whew.
Oh,
Okay. All right, man.
right.
Mm.
Um.
Yeah, this is something else, folks. Oh
Go
my
Yeah.
ahead,
See.
goodness
Mama
gracious.
Ayo. That was
Oh,
great.
That was great.
Go
that's
Oh, you
ahead.
you you was
did
doing it,
y'all
Lydia,
like
too?
that?
I was doing it. I was doing it because she had
Mm.
me doing it before when I was on her program.
That's
So
right. We
Oh, okay.
encourage you when we go on these shows, do it with us. So you
Wow.
can feel the power of
Yes.
the
yes,
breath. We went from what? Relaxation,
Patient. So now I'm like, let's go.
yeah, to charged up energy, right?
Right, right.
I was with somebody this morning. She said, I'm having a hot flash. I
Mm.
said, inhale in, inhale out, inhale
Mm.
in. Oh, she said, I feel warmer already. Right.
Mm.
About 5 breaths. Right. That's how effective breath techniques are for us.
Mm.
And to think that every breath is the same, no, that is a misnomer. We're
Mm.
not taught that every single breath should be in synchronicity of what the body needs. The body essentially knows,
Mm.
but unless we're introduced that we can affect our breathing patterns,
Mm.
change our breathing sequences, affect our breathing based on what we need, then we fall into the programming that our doctors have allowed us to be programmed with breathing high up in the chest. I'm demonstrating it. I call this chest sit-ups where we
Just sit ups. Wow.
sit-ups, shoulders going up and down, feeling like our body is getting taller. We're attempting to make
Mm-hmm.
breath go into the upper part of the body all the time, but we should not. Those of you who run and walk, you want little short breaths
Right.
because it gives you more stimulated energy. But
Mm-hmm.
most of the time, we need the breath to go deeper in the body so that we can have a greater circulation throughout the body. And so
Mm-hmm.
we have to learn these breathology concepts.
Mm-hmm.
Breathology, I named it, renamed it, is the art and science of the awareness of effective breathing. It is the practice of learning breath techniques that impact on a daily basis the spirit, mind, and body. And it's the processes that we can use breathing for to heal ourselves, to bring us better erections and better
Oh
sexually
yeah. Oh yeah.
energy into our body. You laughed and I smiled when you said that because yes, we teach a breath concept
Mm-hmm.
that we call it the art of self-pleasure, how we can make love to ourselves using
Mm-hmm.
breath techniques.
Mm-hmm.
We teach 12 to 14 breath techniques
You have
in
to
the
come on the Pleasure Palace. You know, we have a show called the Pleasure Palace
Oh,
on
I love
Tuesday.
to do
We got to
that.
get you on Tuesday night. Oh, yeah,
Oh,
it's
I
hot. Yeah, we
love
could talk
to.
about that next week.
Okay, I
But
love to
we got
do
to
that.
take another quick break.
Okay.
But before we do that, I want to talk to you a little bit about asthma because asthma rates are high here in New York City,
Yes,
particularly especially in
yes,
the Bronx. How this
yes,
can also be helpful, folks.
yes.
But before we go to break, we got like 1 minute. In 1 minute, can you tell people about this event?
Yes, definitely. So, World Breathing Day gives us a chance to experience breathing from the continent, 12 hours of breathing techniques. In the Washington, D.C. area, my Breathing Day event will be shown on the Zoom at 4:30,
Mm,
and in Washington, D.C., we're actually having a physical experience for
mm,
teachers and
mm.
students to de-stress us and increase our life. And so you
Fabulous.
can get the details at www.positiveenergyworks.com. I'll put it in the chat. Juanita connects positive with energy.
And we'll also put it on the GoPro Radio website.
Yes, please. Yes.
We'll be right back, folks.
Welcome to the Colored Only Café, where the conversation is always hot, black, and strong.
Oh my goodness gracious, folks! I'm going to tell you something. Welcome back. Welcome back for the second half of the Colored Only Cafe. My energy going into this show was I was already thinking about going to bed. I just did this breathing exercise with our sister Ayo Kendi, and I am energized now. I'm pumped up. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do what make it do what it do. You know. So the energy is up. So I'm telling you guys, you can use this as a testimony. I
Yeah.
am definitely energized. I didn't have energy coming in. You know, I've been
Wow.
funerals and all this other kind of stuff going on, and my
Mhm.
energy was. I just did that breathing technique, and
Mhm.
I'm good money now. Let's go,
Mhm.
let's go, sister. Let's talk about this event.
I love it. I love it.
We know that works. It's
Mhm.
pathology stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get into that a little bit. Maybe I'm
So
too
that
positive.
thank you, Ty Long.
Mhm.
I'm excited. Let me see if I can get back on your screen here because I was
Yeah,
sending
yeah,
information to the chat.
yes.
So I like to say that I am
Mhm.
the product of teaching these techniques, transforming myself. I was depressed for years, but yet I was doing the work. But I was drinking and drugging to stimulate me most of the time, and I was
Mhm.
stuck in my body and feeling depressed. And then I
Mhm.
would do breath techniques, and then
Mhm.
I'd,
Mhm.
go back into drinking and drug. And my body and my spirit always felt like I was something wrong with me. And after
Mhm.
years and years of checking on me, therapy,
Mhm. Mhm.
breathing techniques, learned all kinds of breathing techniques, but I kept coming to the conclusion there's still something wrong. And it would take me until age 45 that a transformative breath technique helped me open up the subconscious memory from the prefrontal cortex where all our memories are stored. And this is another reason why this work is extremely important for people of African descent. We do a lot of self medicating, like I was doing, to block our pain. And but at the same time, we persevere and we duke it out. But this self medication does not allow us to achieve the heights of which we can achieve. And for me, it was self sabotaging. I was an imposter in one respect. I was producing, but I did not feel whole. This transformative breath technique is the foundation upon which my whole life changed, in which it that transformative breath technique opened up the cellular memory that I had been abused as a little girl, that my breath stem had pushed into the recesses of my subconscious, and there was what we call block stagnant energy. And many of us are operating from that block stagnant energy. Matter of fact, from a collective basis, the research I've done since I opened up that cellular memory showed me that not only had I been abused as a little girl, sexually, emotionally, physically by my father, that I had to do the healing work of release and forgiving him, but that on a collective level, what have we all been abused in every single way imagined as people who were snatched out of the continent and brought into this country and abused in every unimaginable way. And so, on the collective level, the violence we see in our community, the way in which we have generational abuse, the way in which we are still carrying the vestiges of that enslavement, in the way that our poor health shows up, where many of us are holding our breath out of fear and pain and stuck memories that we never got to scream during that period. We never got to holler. We never got, many of us, to cry. And a lot of that is still stuck within us on a subconscious level. And so this work became even deeper for me as I began to do my healing work. I said, oh, I got to package this in a way that we mix the culture with health. And that's how positive energy work started sharing these breath techniques in 2004. And now we have certified over 350 breathologists. We have been on radio and TV with millions of people, breathing with people, helping them to learn this one technique that we just did on your show.
And it worked. Like honestly,
deeper and
Mama
fully.
Io. I mean, let me tell you, coming into the show, I was like, I'm coming into. I can't wait till it's over. Now I'm like, let's go. I was like, oh, another show. Oh, I got to do. What time is it? I look at the clock. Okay, okay, let me move the question. And now it's like, doing that exercise is like,
Yeah.
I have a lot of, and before we went to break, I was talking about asthma because that's huge here in New York City.
Yeah, so
It's huge in my family.
yes, and in places where many African American people live, like Detroit and New Orleans, okay, where there's these industrial plants,
Yeah.
we call it Cancer Alley, but it's also allergy alleys, and it's also asthma allergies. Our people have a preponderance of asthma related issues, and part of it is that when we a lot of people say I was born with asthma, but no, we're not born with asthma. Doctors don't tell us that when we first come into the world, our upper lungs are not even formed. We're all breathing from our belly, our diaphragmatic area, right? And so asthma is developed because we don't breathe effectively, first thing. We're around polluted, toxic environments where things like roaches and
Mice and
refuse,
yeah,
toxic
vermin.
air, right?
Mhm.
We hold the breath again and we don't breathe deeply and fully and effectively. And so asthma develops in many of us, and we go to a doctor and the doctor says take a deep breath, and we lift up our chest and say, oh, that's a deep breath, but we're changing our whole anatomy because we don't get enough oxygen in the upper
Mm.
part of our lungs. If you put your hand on the upper part of your lungs, put it just at heart level, just above heart level. Try to take in a deep breath and lift your shoulders up, okay? And you'll feel it's tighter, it strains. There is no space for oxygen to flow in the smaller portion of our lungs. But again, putting your hand on the lower portion of our body, just below the navel, this is where the lungs expand their highest. And so asthma is a constriction of the lungs ability to move oxygen through the delicate lung tissue. And the more we are around toxic waste and chemicals and other ways of changing the anatomy of our body, we
Mhm.
contract the concept of asthma. And so we have to teach our people, and I've been blessed, I wrote a book about the power of breath for children, and I included an asthma guide in that book to
What's the
show.
name of the book?
It's called how the what's the name of my book? Dang on it. How the power of the breath for that's not it. I got the book right here. The power of the breath for children. The how the breath. Oh wait a minute, Tylon. I apologize.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's
Yeah,
okay.
I got all my
Breathe,
books.
breathe.
Yeah, breathe, breathe, breathe. I'll pull it out
Oh,
when
you'll
we
pull it out.
go
Yeah,
to the
once
break
we
because
go.
it's right
Yeah,
over in my bookcase. But it is on my
'cause you wrote
website.
a lot of books. How many books have you
I've
published?
I've written 5 books, and I'm
Oh.
currently working on a sixth book on breathing through stop smoking naturally. And I'm dedicated that to all of the marijuana smokers. I smoked marijuana for
We need that
years.
here in Brooklyn. Where I'm
Yes,
at,
we
I live
do,
in the
right?
Caribbean community. You can walk down and you can get high for free in this community.
Oh, and DC is the same thing. As
Just walk
soon
down the
as we,
street. You
soon
got
as
to have
we
a
made it,
mask just to say.
yes, yes,
You have
soon
to have
as
a
we,
mask just to stay
mhm,
sober.
that's right. Soon as we made marijuana available in DC, it's the same thing.
Oh
And
my
I'm
goodness.
sure it's like that in a lot of communities.
Hmm.
Everybody's breathing secondhand smoke and they're breathing marijuana smoke.
Mm.
And I'm not going to condemn marijuana. I love smoking. I love getting high, right? Okay.
Mm. Mm.
But I had to stop. I
Mhm.
had to stop in the last 5 years completely
Mm.
because it was affecting my lung. All of the chemical contaminants from smoking, air quality, chemicals in the air, on and on and on, affects the delicate tissue of the lungs. And when the delicate tissue of the lungs is impacted, this vital energy of oxygen is
Mhm.
not able to give us that first food. We say with oxygen, first food,
Mhm.
we can live without food and water.
Mm.
We can live without food for 45 or more days. We can live
Oh,
without
really? Okay.
water, yeah, for 21 or more days because we begin to self absorb the food that's already within the fatty tissues of our cells. But
Mhm.
without oxygen, we're gone out of here in 6 to 8 minutes, Tylon. So
Mm.
it is our first food that we take for granted, and better breathing can change the condition of asthmatics.
Mm.
We encourage asthmatics to use other types of oxygenated food like moringa. And I have been with asthmatics in an asthma attack. You give them a moringa that has 9 bronchial dilators, and they lick it up, and within 4 to 5 minutes, they're through their asthma attack. And we encourage them to drink the water, which is our liquid oxygen, and we
Mm.
encourage them to calm down and don't and come out of the panic attack of feeling like, oh, I can't breathe, and then that makes you feel more like you can't breathe because you're breathing tight and high and fast and, and holding the breath and stopping it. It's not it, and it's scary. Oh, it's scary
Yeah,
as
during
all
my
get out.
20s, it was funny. I developed asthma in my 20s, and
Oh,
then
we
then
can.
more recently, I haven't had asthma attack in like a couple of
Well,
years.
I'm really glad, but we
But
really
mhm.
honestly we help people heal their asthma through better breathing
Wow,
techniques.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm, mm,
So
mm.
that's what World Breathing Day does. It celebrates the recognition of better breathing. It celebrates the connection between the breath and the air quality. It encourages us to try new techniques of breathing. And on this day, we're making the correlation that in our classrooms, our children are stressed out like our adults, holding the breath, fearing what's getting ready to happen next, having panic attacks, holding the breath, dealing with asthma, children and asthma. I mean, we've seen children die right in front of us with an asthma attack. It's the saddest thing that they could have been able to heal their asthma. Because if you just keep holding your breath, you going. And so, yeah, we celebrate that the world's breathing can be changed and it can make a difference. Our theme this year for World Breathing Day is pause, breathe, and unite. To get more information about our local activity and the worldwide activity, you can go to two sites. You can go to www IBF or International Breathwork Foundation, and you can definitely go to my website, Positive Energy Works 1E, that connects positive with energy. Now, we're going to bring the concept of breath to the second event, which is April the 16th, and that is DC Emancipation Day. And the sheer fact that as enslaved people, what did we do? We held our breath, and we still hold the collective memory of holding our breath through pain, through trauma, through the ways in which those people who held us in bondage impacted our lives. And so, DC Emancipation Day, we mix the culture with the health, and we are showing through a reenactment as to what happened in 1862 as 3,100 people were freed in Washington, D.C., as the first freed through the D.C. Emancipation Act. 3,100 enslaved African Americans freed 9 months before the Emancipation Proclamation. It's the only recorded compensation in which our so called owners were given compensation to free us. And we've been celebrating DC Emancipation Day since the latter part of the 90s when I discovered it through the person, Sister Loretta Carter Haynes, who uncovered the history of how we, as enslaved people, marched down Pennsylvania Avenue to celebrate our freedom. And so this year, with DC Emancipation Day, April the 16th. I think it's the 155th. I've lost count,
Mhm.
but 1862. I celebrate every year, and I'm very proud of the fact that several of us helped Mrs. Haynes to begin the DC Emancipation Day activity and reimagine it and reignite it. And so I created a one woman performance in which we show a enslaved woman how she felt after being freed, those who were told to emancipate her, the so-called owners. I'm trying to get away from the masters, but the owners of us as enslaved people, their mistresses, how that impacted all of us. The child of the enslaved woman had to run away in order to save their life, and how the freedom celebration occurred in DC, the ringing of the bells and the people snatching off their clothes. And so we celebrate Juneteenth. That's 1865. But in DC, we were the first free. And
Hmm.
so the District of Columbia has a big parade, they have a big festival, but this reenactment really helps you understand the cultural history, but also the physical challenge that being an enslaved person, and how there are vestiges that still today we must discuss. That if we as a collective people went through every period of enslavement in every single community, there's an Emancipation Day. New York has its Emancipation Day. Maryland has its Emancipation Day. Juneteenth is the Emancipation Days of those who were in those elements here in Galveston, Texas, and Oklahoma, right? Every single Emancipation Day gives us the opportunity to connect with the ancestors who fought and died for us for freedom, but whose legacy was impaired because we contracted all kinds of diseases. We weren't even allowed to comb our hair during enslavement days. So we had lice and impacted skull issues. We held our breath tremendously because we were whipped and dragged and brutalized and forced into breeding. All of these are the vestiges of the enslavement that still today show up, and how many of us don't even want to commit to marriage because the earlier days when we were told we could marry, and that we felt that if we married that our partner would be sold away. These are the emotional scars that in this recreation, I do a breathing technique that helps us release the trauma of enslavement. And that will be at the end of the historical reenactment that we must, on the physical level, also release. And so that will be on Zoom all over the world.
Wow.
And in order to get the details of this reenactment, you should go to my second organizational activity, African American Holidays.org, April the 16th, DC Emancipation Day.
Okay, so folks, we're going to take our final break so that we have more time on the last quarter, because I have some questions.
Okay.
I want to talk about Black love. I want to talk about marriage, and I want to also talk about this holiday, because I did not know that DC got their emancipation 9 months before the Emancipation Proclamation.
9 months before
So,
the
folks, man,
Emancipation.
you're getting all this wonderful history and information. Please consider at this time donating to the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. Let's keep us growing, and let's try to go commercial free, and we can do that if we get sponsors. So if you know someone who's interested in sponsoring a program like this, please give them our information. Our information is info, like it's and information, info at goproradio.com. And let us know that you're out there. Let us know that we matter and that you care about what we're doing here, and that you'd be interested in sponsoring our program so that we can continue and bring incredible guests like the guests that we have here, and our dear sister, our Mama Ayo, Kendi. And we'll be right back after this brief break, right? And it'll be our final break, and that's why we're doing it now, so that we're going to have a lot more time in our last quarter of the program, folks.
Welcome to the Colored Only Café, where the conversation is always hot, black, and strong.
All right. Good people, black people, we are back. We are black. This is the Colored Only Café. I'm one of the hosts, Tylon Eustacia Washington, and we have an incredible guest. It's always exciting when she joins our program. I learn so much, and we have open and honest conversations, because I want to talk about relationships and love. But before we get into that part of it, and by the way, folks, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, now is the time for you to put your questions in the chat. You can do that now. You could also open your mics, right? So there's going to be open mics. I want to welcome into the room Bro Pete. I see Deshaun Farad. I didn't make sure I acknowledge you guys. I see Kathleen's in the room. And welcome. And folks who are listening to us, we have quite a few folks checking us out right now on Facebook. Guys, if you want to join us and you want to speak to our guest of honor, Mama Ayo, you can do so by going to goproradio.com. When you go to goproradio.com, we made it super fast and easy. and safe for you to join in on this conversation. All you have to do is click on that join live button when you get to the page. It's right at the top of the page, and you're going to want to join. But I have a question, and
Yes.
I want to know, like, for those who are like watching this program right now, men and women all over the world, and they're hearing this conversation, and they're feeling somewhat called, right? But unsure where to start. What is the first step towards reclaiming their wellness, their power, and their sense of
Mm.
self?
Okay. Well, you're talking to a person whose whole transformation to wholeness came from practicing breathing techniques. I encourage people to consider that if you were looking at any one significant thing that you could change, it would be your breathing. It doesn't cost you anything, your breath of life, right? We just need to manage it better. It gives us so much in terms of some of the things I mentioned, shifts of consciousness, higher connection with spirit, connects your spirit, mind, changes the way in which we think. It actually can shift the vital tissues in our brain tissue for greater clarity, greater concentration, uh, enhance ability to think on a clear level, right? uh Physical. It affects every single cell in our body. It increases the mitochondria. The mitochondria is, we all have lots of mitochondria as we come into the world, but as we age, the mitochondria is diminished due to all of the chemicals and just aging, that we don't revitalize with good food and better breathing and good water and sleep and rest, those simple things. So all of that's connected with better breathing. The mitochondria then diminishes, and so you see people aging quicker, where you see someone like me who is age 74, 75 on my birthday in July, who has plenty of energy. And I don't look my age and I don't feel my age because I've been breathing these, using better breathing
Mm,
since age 19. And so my mitochondria is not as diminished. I,
mm,
every once in a while, yeah,
mm,
I forget, but I sit back and I breathe, and then oh, yep, there it is. Let me go to it.
mm,
I literally see shifts that quick, just
mm,
like you saw on this show. The mitochondria is increased effectively through better breathing. Uh, you can lose weight with better breathing.
Ooh,
If
I
you're
like that.
hungry, take a deep breath,
Mm-hmm.
fill your body with oxygen, drink some water, liquid oxygen, and allow yourself to sit back and relax, and you won't be as hungry. Okay, so the first
Mm-hmm.
thing that I
I'm loving that.
suggest to people, if they're getting ready to start a wellness journey,
Mm-hmm.
is check out their breathing. Check
Mm,
out how well they breathe, and check out how ineffective they breathe. Because better breathing increases our wellness. We have a slogan, breathe better to live better.
mm,
But breathing inefficiently, every single breath that we don't take has an impact on putting our bodies at great risk for
mm.
all of the challenges that an ineffective thing that we do 20,000 times a day would diminish your health, your life, and your wellness.
Wow.
But increase it, you increase your health, your wellness, and your life.
Mm,
Yes.
mm. And I'm telling you, it made a big difference today. And so I did one breathing technique, and it just increased my energy. I'm ready, folks.
Yeah.
You can unmute yourselves now.
Yeah.
Okay, if you have any questions, comments, concerns. If you're driving, I would tell people that pull
Yes.
over
Yes.
if you're able to,
Yes.
or if you're able to. send us a chat.
Mm-hmm.
Put your
Mm-hmm.
questions in the chat. I'll read
Mm-hmm.
your questions, comments,
Yes.
concerns.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and so let's open up the mics.
Right.
Lydia,
And, and
mhm.
Lydia's that's my girl. Hey Lydia. Hi.
Oh, it's always a pleasure hearing you and seeing you.
Yes, ma'am. I see you've been I saying, and Lydia's a poet. And Lydia, I can tell that you've learned some breathing techniques, haven't you? Because you put them words out there really fast. But a rapper, you can tell rappers that don't breathe well because because they're not having a deeper, sustainable breath that enables them to hold their breath, get them words out. Daddy, 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 daddy. Oh, look how long I'm holding that note because I have brought a lot of breath in my body. So, Lydia, you could probably tell us about the impact of better breathing for you to be able to do the poetry that you do.
Yeah,
Is that correct?
yeah,
Yeah, that's correct. And when you had me on, I realized that, I have to take my time. I have
Mm-hmm.
to take it all in and then
Mm-hmm.
release it. It causes a better syncopation as I go
Mm-hmm.
through and enunciating the words and
Mm-hmm.
the purpose for doing it. It's
Mm-hmm.
really, yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, 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 yes. If you want to be a good singer, speaker, rapper, be able to really get your truth spoken without stammering and stuttering,
Yes.
breath is the thing. When I was on Steve Harvey's show years ago, teaching him how to breathe, he said in between the commercial breaks, he was talking about the sister who works with him, and he said she breathes very high and shallow all up in her chest, and she sounds like this, and he was mimicking her. That was the hardest interview I've ever had because he was playing. But then in between the commercial breaks, he turned to me, he said, "You are teaching our people something so important." And then when we came back on the show, he started, I told him put one hand on his chest, and you know what, Steve is crazy. He started touching all up in the upper part of his chest and stroking his nipples, all this old silly stuff. But he knew we're giving people a life force. We're
Mhm.
just simply helping them change the way they breathe.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hmm.
I like how you phrased it too. First food. People don't think of it
Yes.
like right. It's such a,
Yeah.
I think, a poetic way of putting it, and it's just
Yes.
so truthful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the
Yeah.
real deal. That's the
Hmm.
real deal. Let me see any more questions, huh?
Oh
Because
yeah, folks. Folks, if
I love questions.
you know,
Don't let me go on because I am super passionate about this
Okay,
subject.
Mama Ayo.
Yes.
One is a successful meditation. How should
Mhm.
that leave you? And I need to meditate more.
Okay. And
Fluid.
so Lydia, we in Optimum Life Breathology, we teach the breath meditation. So there will be a certification program at the end of this month of April. Okay, I think it's the last weekend of April. But however, we're beginning to have circles on a every 2 week basis. I had to stop them for a minute and then I started them again. I need real help, y'all. I can put the word out here now. I need tech help, right?
all right.
But yeah, so we're restarting those circles. And one of the circles is teaching people how to do a breath meditation. People do not understand how to meditate.
Mm.
They
Exactly.
yeah, they really don't. They think that we have to concentrate. But no, we don't concentrate. We allow the breath to take us into a quieting space within our being. We allow hearing of any sound. We allow movement if we need to. We're people that move. So for us to think that we need to sit still as monks and
Mm.
meditate, I don't do that when I teach my people
Oh, I
meditation.
like that. That's music to my ears. 'Cause I remember I used to go to meditation. I was like, it's not working. My mind would get more flooded with thoughts. I'm like, it's
That's
not
right.
working.
That's right,
My
right,
mind is moving too fast. I can't
right.
meditate.
Tylon, we learned that we have to meditate in a different way than
Mm,
other people and cultures that maybe is quieter in their culture. We're
mhm,
not as
Mm-hmm.
stimulated as much. And we just need to learn this with our children as early as possible, that they can move and meditate. They really can. The
mm,
meditation is about meta, going within. That's the Sanskrit word of meditation. You go within. But as you go within, you don't stop all the things around you.
yeah, I
You
remember
can't
the last
stop
time.
thought. You can't stop thought. So
Friends.
you allow thought to come
Mm,
in, you breathe. As you realize you're following thought, you
mhm,
bring the thought back to the breath, and then the thoughts are going to come in again, and you just bring the breath back in, and the thoughts will come in, and you follow the thoughts, and then you bring them back in. And that's what helps you to settle the nervous system and relax the mind. And within 3 minutes of meditation,
mm,
and beyond, you allow your meditation practice to start with very short periods of slowing down the nervous system, and you develop over time the ability to allow the nervous system to be in this state of rest, and thoughts will still come in, but you just don't pay as much attention
mhm,
and focus and follow. And that's the difference between a breath meditation and what people traditionally speak of. Yeah, we're gonna meditate.
mm.
Our people got too much going on to be trying to sit still and shut off the world. No, that is not meditation. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. We got some questions populating in the chat. Let me read it.
Okay.
Oh, Zoe's here. Oh,
Hey,
my
Zoe.
favorite filmmaker. She says, Grand Rising, Mama Io. Can you speak about how breath work connects to the tenets of Black love?
Okay.
Mm.
All right. Oh, I see some good questions. Hey, Zoe, good to see you on the show. Okay, so
Mm.
in the um, ritual of reconciliation, a big part of the Black love relationship ceremony, we bring the breath in as the conduit to help us go into the deeper state of what I like to call compassion.
Mm.
As a people, we must give ourselves self love. And self love means that we must be tolerant, we must be patient, and that is the compassion that we cultivate when we allow ourselves to breathe in that ceremony. And so, after we breathe in the beginning of that ceremony, then we offer forgiveness. We allow ourselves to speak of how we have harmed ourselves or how we have harmed someone in our community. And in that ceremony, the ritual takes us to the concept of self compassion to the entire community. That the African tradition is that you don't just hurt one person, you don't hurt just one person, you hurt an entire community when you have harmed them. And so, in order to give forgiveness to yourself, give forgiveness to the community, allow the community to give forgiveness to you, we breathe deeply and fully and consciously for, I'd say, about 10 to 15 minutes. We do a guided breath meditation that we suggest. Visualize and see who you may have harmed or how you have harmed yourself. And we breathe and release what we say, the confusion that is created when we have not allowed ourselves to release. And so we do releasing breaths also in that perspective. And that ritual, we encourage people to use it beyond Black Love Day. Use it in your community challenges. We work with groups, gangs to do release work. We've used it with couples to do release work. We've used it for family disputes. Breathe, see who has been harmed, see how you've harmed yourself, and do the release work. Let it go.
Mm.
It's a very
Mm.
powerful ritual, right?
Oh yeah, we got a
Yeah.
nice heart floating around there.
Yes,
Thank you
thank
for
you.
that question.
Yes,
Oh man,
thank you for
and
the
can't
question.
wait to see this movie too.
I
Oh my
can't wait
goodness.
to see this movie
I
too.
know Zoe's such an extraordinary person. I just it's
Yes,
terrific.
yes, yes, yes. These
Jacqueline has a question,
yes,
and I
okay.
see this question, and I know this is a jab at me. Why are some men afraid of marriage today?
Okay, okay. So I'm gonna again go back to our history and our culture. You know, as a people in that enslavement period, we were not allowed to marry. That was there were laws passed. We weren't allowed to marry. So black men and women who came from the continent in which marriage was very much a part of an institution in the continent, but here we're snatched into this country, and over several centuries we're not allowed to marry. And so I believe that we are holding the cellular memory of not being able to connect on that deeper level. That there was a lot of fear in those people who did go off into the woods and they just professed to the Creator, you know, I want to marry this woman. But there was this fear that as soon as we got married, if the owners found out we were married, there was a great likelihood that they would find some way to send your people off and break up your marriage. And so I believe that also the forced breeding, that many black men were forced to impregnate women, and women had to submit to men. I think that it's all part of a internalized subconscious fear that is one of those vestiges of enslavement that I think still show up today in our people.
I
That
I I
since as
I
soon
I
as
I
we
agree.
connect, we're gonna lose the
Yeah.
person we were married to.
I agree that the trauma is in us cellular. We've never been debriefed. Cleo
No.
Monago talks about this about us wearing the trauma trench. But I think
Yes.
also, I think we have to consider too, because I'm all for black people coming together, making meaningful connections, and I
Mhm.
like the idea of us defining for ourselves. I think like even under the threat of death and being separated, we would sneak off into the woods and
Yes.
we would make a pledge for each other. But I
That's
think it's
right.
very different in today's society when government is involved. That's
Yes.
the issue that I have.
Yes.
That I know that government has been levied against, and particularly strategically towards destroying the black man
Yes.
and thus the black community. Because
Yes.
people talk about the woman is the black man is the black is the backbone. No other group says
Mhm.
their woman is the backbone. People understand what
Mhm.
the role of men are, and so I
Mhm.
think in today's Western society and culture, I think if people are defining for themselves, this is what my level of commitment is.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
what I'm doing. I'm
Yes.
all for that. I'm all for people
Yes.
connecting. I'm just not with
Okay.
the government being involved
Yes.
with that because I kind of know where that question came from.
That's
All right.
right.
So, but the
That's a
next.
good answer and response. That yes, we can cultivate better self trust with breath. I think so.
Mm,
Uh, I think if you can allow yourself to trust that your breath it can change your life, that your breath is going to enable you to be an enhanced being, that if you can sit and really use breath to transform your life, I think it does cultivate self-trust. That it you can't stop yourself from breathing. That reality is a impact of self-trust that Dr. Michael Beckwith says it all the time. Allow your body to just breathe itself. And you're going to keep breathing until the creator says you're not having no more breath, right? But to know that you're going to keep breathing in and of itself should give us some comfort. That should make us feel assured that life will continue as long as we have breath in our body. So, yes, I really do believe that we cultivate better self trust. And do men and women love differently? That's a good
Yeah.
question.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I think we do. I
Mm-hmm.
think we do. I really do. And there's, I'm sure, the whole way in which women internalize love as care, support, um, the romantic aspect of love. We speak of 5 different love elements that make us feel love, that for women, those two are very important. We want to feel supported. We want to feel taken care of. We want to feel a romantic emotional connection. Perhaps with men, a lot of the sense of love is that they want to feel respected. They want to feel that they are trusted. They want to feel that we recognize them for their self worth. Because as people, we've had so much non acknowledgement that in our men in particular, to acknowledge a man for their contributions make them feel loved. It makes them feel supported. We also have the romantic element that in a man may copulate, spread their seed, release, but that does not necessarily mean that they have to love. They can just have a release. A woman more likely and more often, if she has that sexual connection and she has that release, she tends to more often see that from a love element, a connection element, whereas a man may see it just as a release element. And that's all right. And so you want to
Mm-hmm.
find the ways in which your partner feels loved. For some women, they just need to release too. If you find a woman that that's what she wants, that's what we should allow her to have, right? And so that's the art of self pleasure, where sometimes we need to recognize that the reason why men and women have sexual issues like prostate cancer, and women have issues with fibroids and intrauterine issues, is that they're just not getting a release of their sexual uh, juices, or their,
Yeah. And
yeah,
menopause early. I'm dating a lot,
yeah.
meeting women that has menopause at such an early age. I'm like,
Yes, yes,
that's something new.
that can be a challenge, because if we have our menstrual cycle early, there's a likelihood that we'll
Right.
menopause early, right?
Mm.
And that in our menstrual releases, when we don't control the pain, we soon as we have a menstrual cycle, many of us are holding our breath because we associate it with pain. And when we're having menopause, people can't stand some of the
Mhm.
water that comes
Mhm.
up with the menopause, or the sense of the heightened breath, or the
Mhm.
constant sense of feeling disconnected in menopause. We
Mhm.
can breathe through menopause and change the condition of the
Mhm.
menopausal flow, where we actually can stop hot flashes
Mhm.
within
I
three
got
to.
some clients for you. Oh, I'm
Oh
gonna give them your
yeah,
number. Yeah,
yeah,
and then I young, like 30 in her 30s. She has what do you call it? She some premenstrual, like she's crazy on her menstrual, crazy 1 week before the
yes,
menstrual, and crazy one after. I was like, she's
yes,
crazy
yes.
three weeks out of the month.
Right, right, right. All out of balance,
All out
like
of
all this extra hormonal flow.
I'm like, what
We
is
can slow that down by
this?
encouraging the woman during her menstrual cycle to go into deeper breathing, deeper
Mm.
relaxation,
Yes.
deeper connection to the spirit, mind, body aspect of the breath
Mm-hmm.
at the time of that menstrual flow, to be in a more relaxed nervous system balance that changes all of the hormones,
Mm. Mm.
changes all of the hormones. It really is a powerful technique.
Yeah.
Breathing can do so much. Laughter is a breath technique. We
Mm.
actually impact hormones with just breathing and laughter. And so during that time of the cycle, be more joyful, laugh, ha 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 ha.
Yep,
Every
yep,
time we
yep,
ha
yep, yep,
ha
yep,
ha
yep, yep.
ha
A lot
ha
of these women
ha.
are cranky.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
no reason. You see them on like, you see them on the internet and people. Wow, I said that's somebody that's not in balance.
No,
When they
it's
acting,
yeah.
what's this
It,
also
it
happened?
can change the balance of the whole body. So yeah, breathing can do so much. It's about 30 to 40 actual physical changes that breath alone can affect. But
Wow.
emotional, spiritual, mental, you add another 30, 40. In my book on the power of the breath,
Mm-hmm.
I indicate all of the different ways in which essentially about 12 different breath techniques that we share, that when you learn them and you intermix them and you use them to make a difference in everyday daily living. If you're struggling to have a bowel movement, you need to breathe deeper. Okay. If you're like I said, the issue with dieting,
Mm-hmm.
breathe differently. You having trouble going to sleep, on and on and on and on and
Mm.
on.
Wow. Wow. Well, folks, thank you so much for your questions. Thank you for your comments. If you have other questions and comments, I'll be more than happy. As you know, I always do. I will forward it to our esteemed guests,
I
and
love
then if
what
they're leisure,
Kathleen says.
they will do it. Yeah. What did she say?
She says, also be able to release our guards. You're right. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And she said to be even more understanding to
Mm-hmm.
our women, that men can be more understanding during that time. The nervous system learns to relax when there is a mutual connection. Thank you, Kathleen. That's beautiful. That's right. So
Mm-hmm.
I do encourage men and women as a way of bonding to come and connect with each other belly to belly and
Mm-hmm.
breathe together. And
Mm-hmm.
if you have a child who's having a tantrum, pick that child up and put that child to you belly to belly and breathe
Mm-hmm.
with them. And it
Mm-hmm.
definitely shifts the nervous
Mm-hmm.
system
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it calms them down
That's
within two
true.
to three breaths.
That
Yes.
is so true. Yeah, because
Mhm.
I have autistic son. He's running around crazy. Whenever he gets in his mode, all I do is hug him, and he's fine.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like good. He's
'Cause-
good. It's like it's almost like he's like, oh, okay, because he feels I'm calm, and then he calms down and stuff like that. So that's so true.
uh-huh.
I'm
Yeah.
loving this. I'm like I said once again, I'm so grateful and appreciative of you taking out the time, being gracious enough to visit us here at the Colored Only Cafe, where the conversation is always hot, black, and strong. Folks, please
Absolutely.
stay in touch and definitely look out for this event. We're going to be posting this flyer on our website, so if you don't get the information, do not despair. We have you covered. It's the World Breathing Day event. It's just incredible. It's awesome, and it happens on April 11th. Right? That's matter of fact, that's this.
That's this
Saturday.
Saturday.
This is Saturday.
Yeah,
That's right. It's not that
yeah,
far. So this Saturday is right here. And they also have a Zoom link. So you can join them
yes,
via Zoom. If you happen to be in the Washington, Maryland, Virginia area and you want to show up in person and meet this
yeah,
incredible woman, I'm telling you, it's going to be a real treat for your mind and your body and your
yeah,
spirit and your breathing. So, so
yeah, yeah, yeah.
students and teachers come, breathe, unite, de-stress, feel the joy. Hopefully, you guys felt it on this program tonight. And please, folks, don't forget to spread the joy, right? And don't forget to also to donate, make a contribution to the GoPro Radio Network. We really need it, and we're building an institution. We've had yet another offer. People interested in buying. We're not doing this. We're building this institution, right? So we don't build things to just sell them and give them away. We know that we need more platforms. We need more, especially in these times, more free speech supported networks and platforms and institutions that are ours, right, and stay ours, right. So definitely make sure you make yourself available, and it's from 12 to 12 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard
Yes,
Time.
yes,
Okay,
uh-huh.
and then it's
Actually till 6 p.m.
to six.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 12 to
Yes.
6. So 6 hours.
Mhm.
Wow,
Yes,
what an
uh-huh.
incredible
Right,
program.
right, right. And in Europe, there's 6 hours that were happening from Europe, and then we jump into North America, another 6 hours. So it's really 12 hours. And my segment is going to be a half an hour on Zoom that
Mm,
starts at 4:30 to 5.
mm,
However, in the local area, you get to come from 3 to
mm.
6 and you'll be on the Zoom international broadcast if you stop by. So you'll
Mm.
get the personal connection, the fun, and you'll also be part of that worldwide broadcast. So it's going to be a big
This is
day, April
terrific.
the 11th. Yes.
I'm super excited for it. And also, let's not forget the one woman performance and DC
Yes,
Emancipation Day.
that's right.
And you can
That's
see
right.
through the eyes of an enslaved woman, her
Yes.
son, the property owners who
Yes.
compensated her for freedom.
Yeah.
Who was compensated for her freedom, her
Yeah.
mistress, and
Yeah.
her enslaved persons given freed on. And this is on,
That
the
would
event.
be
The event is on the 16th.
It's going to be on actually the day of April the 16th,
Wow.
DC Emancipation Day.
Day. Wow, wow,
Yeah.
and that's something I learned today. Maybe you learned it too. I didn't know that DC had its emancipation a whole 9 months before the
Yes.
Emancipation
Yes.
Proclamation. So
Yes.
yeah, so it's going to be a discussion, and it's also this one woman event. And where are there tickets for this event? Did you see that?
When you go to, if you go to the African American
Oh, wait. .org.
Holidays.org,
Okay.
it's not up there yet because that's where I had all my technical
Okay.
issues,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
But I have the Zoom link that I tried to post
Hmm.
in the chat here. I
Hmm.
don't know if I can do it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The website is in here, and then
Yeah,
we'd
so
love
if
to
you
put it
go
in
to
the
the
chat too.
website, give and tell in the morning,
Okay.
and you'll see all the information because I really had some technical challenges
Hmm.
today. But you need to
We
register
overcame.
to be part of that Zoom experience, and it's free, but we always accept donations, right? And we are making a suggested donation
Oh,
for it.
that's nice.
But we want you to make certain that you come.
Right. And please support folks. I mean, people are, when they say, make a donation, a lot of work, a lot of effort
I'm
goes
telling
into it.
you.
And people have
Yes,
no idea. A lot of people are doing this literally out of pocket.
yes.
And they're doing this because not only are passionate and they're artists and they're doing this, but they want to share this critical and important information that can help you. So we have to think of things in terms, remember balance. Balance is very important. Support the
Right.
things and the people who are supporting you.
Yeah.
So make sure when you give